internet about your home in Seattle. Your father probably bought an house and after he sell it to Bill Gates. Is it right?
Yeah, it was a long, long time ago. It was actually the house I was born in. But yeah, Bill Gates ended up buying it. He's since moved on to bigger and numerous other houses. But yeah, it was a funny little story back in Seattle.
You double up the value.
Yeah,
I read it on internet.
I was in diapers, so I don't really know. Yeah.
Okay. What about your decision to make basketball in Europe after your college career? What do you think about NBA and why you choose Europe?
Well, I mean, if the NBA option was there, I would love to play the NBA.
Obviously.
You know, as a kid growing up in the States, but you know, I wasn't necessarily on the NBA team's radars when I came out. It was also the year of the lockout when I was there, so it wasn't a lot of draft workouts or anything, but I honestly was really looking forward for the opportunity to play in Europe, to go live in a foreign country and experience a new type of basketball. And in the beginning, I just thought it'd be fun to play for a year or two and, you know, make a little money but be able to live in a new place and experience a new culture. But that's since turned into, it's now my 12th year overseas. So, you know, if you would have asked me in the beginning if I would be playing 12 years still, I wouldn't have believed you, but I feel very fortunate to still be playing.
For staying in NBA, what do you think about Seattle Supersonics story, and do you expect another life for the Sonics in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously really hope so. You know, I grew up a huge Sonics fan. Honestly, once the Sonics left, I kind of lost interest in the NBA. You know, my dad hadn't played there, and then when I got into middle school, high school, he began coaching as the assistant coach, and so you know, I would go to all the home games and go to any practices I could, and just watch and get a little peek behind the scenes of you know, that NBA life, and you know, so I'm really crossing my fingers. I think there's a better opportunity than ever now for Sonics to come back, and more than anything, I think the city's ready. You know, really hurt us losing that team, and you know, when they do come back, you'll see the full support of the city behind them.
You have a father who played in NBA in a very good way. Did you ever feel the chip on your shoulder when you start choosing basketball as a professional player?
Yeah, in terms of like pressure or anything like that, no, not really. Certainly not for my father. You know, he was always great. You know, he pushed me to play a lot of different sports. I really came into basketball pretty late. You know, always played growing up, but really became, you know, my main sport once I got into high school, and you know, I hit a big growth spurt, so it kind of became natural. But you know, growing up, you know, I would hear, you know, people would see the name on my jersey and maybe expect big things or whatever it was. But the great thing was I never had that pressure from, you know, my family or my dad. He just pushed me to be my own player and enjoy myself. And you know, now obviously it's just, you know, proud and, you know, a lot of pride, you know, in having that last name, and I really understand what he's done, you know, in basketball and for the city of Seattle and his career. So for me, it's just, you know, a big honor, and so, you know, my dad's someone I really look up to. So
can we say your trademark move is a behind the back pass?
Yeah, I'm sure it would be a pass of some kind, yeah, behind the back or through someone else's legs, I don't know, but yeah, I think it's kind of just turning into that. It comes pretty naturally to me now, so it may seem a little flashy to some, but a lot of times it's just the most useful pass and a little misdirection, so yeah, it's probably safe to say that, yeah.
Which is the most important moment of your Valencia tenure in that day? What do you remember when you think about the Valencia experience?
I mean, I think obviously it's winning the ACB my second year there. We had lost the Kings Cup final, and we had lost the Euro Cup final, and so it was our third final, and we were going up against Real Madrid, which is you know, the giant that everyone's trying to knock down, and I think, you know, we didn't have home court advantage, but we were able to win one in Madrid, and then came home and won both at home in front of, you know, great environment. La Fontetta was packed. The fans were hungry and ready for it, and being able to celebrate with them was awesome. And honestly, after such a tough year, the team was playing great, but we'd been so close, already twice, and to finally, win the first ACB title in the club's history was, something I'll never forget.
Which is the secret of Alba Berlino of keeping Sikma for those years? I think you had some offers around Europe, I suppose.
It's just a club that from the day I got here, I really felt comfortable. I think a big part is how we play, and that's testament to Aito and Israel. How we play really fits my game well. I think I'm a little bit unique in what type of player I am, and I don't know if that would function in every system, or at least I think I could be obviously a more than useful player in a lot of different systems, but I think this is really where I can show the most of my talents, and we've just kind of created a great culture and club and family here at Alba over the last 5+ years now, and seeing the club grow from Euro Cup to the Euro Cup finals to then EuroLeague, and now kind of making our name in the EuroLeague is something that I find really special, and to be able to grow with the club has been a huge draw for me.
You had Simone Fontecchio as a teammate. He rise here in NBA. Hope Gabriele too. Is the player developing a huge factor of Alba's success in last years?
Yeah, I think so. And that starts at the club. That's a huge, important point for us. We've got great coaches, player development coach and Carlos Frade, who does a great job with all the guys. Not just 1 year, but year after year after year, and having such a young roster and using so many young players. I think that's the key to, getting us to the next level, is those players growing and improving over time, and keeping that, always as, a point of focus. It's easy to just get caught up in wins and losses, but, it's most important to grow it throughout, the season and, year after year. And I think the club does as good a job as anybody in Europe at that. So, that's very important for Alba.
What are your goals for this upcoming season as a team and as a player?
Yeah, you always want to compete for championships, whether it's German Cup or the German League title, or trying to make it to the EuroLeague playoffs. But I think people looking so far ahead and putting that as a goal, you really lose sight of the more immediate goal, and that's to kind of improve, day by day and throughout the season. I think that's been a huge key to our success the last 5 years, is we've grown as a team through every season, and then being able to keep the same core of guys that then grows to the next season, and that creates what we have now. So that's always, for me, it's always just try to improve day to day. It might sound a little boring, but that's always been the goal, and found that if you trust in that, the results will come, when the games really get, really matter.
What do you feel about EuroLeague's future as a Bodiroga, as the new at the top of the list? What do you think about the EuroLeague future, and what thing they can improve in organization, playing time, schedule, stuff like that?
Yeah, I think it's an exciting time for the EuroLeague, obviously with new leadership, and I think there's obviously always big opportunities ahead of us. I'm sure the EuroLeague know better than me, but seeing how much basketball's grown in Europe, in different markets, I've seen it in Germany over the last 5 years, and I know there's, trying to spread it to the UK and, a bunch of different places. I think it's, really exciting. So I'm not gonna, that's their job to kind of make all those decisions, obviously, and they've done a great job so far. So, my job is to just, put a great product on the floor that they can market and try and show and spread to as many people as possible. So, that's really always my main focus.
In Italy, we go to the game, see the game, and then go home. Is in Germany more an experience, a family experience? Is there something more around, have dinner, go to the cinema, stuff like that, around the team and around the game?
In terms of as a fan experience?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think so. They do such a great job, in terms of hospitality and making a great fan experience for the game and then for families, and that's a really important part, of growing the game, because you've got your fans that have always been, but you want to create new fans, and that's that younger generation, and so much easier spreading it from parents to kids, and it's part of our job as players is to give a great product on the floor that people want to keep coming to watch. So we know how important the fans are with us at Alba, and so we always keep that in mind heading into the game, that we're going to try and play a beautiful style of basketball that they can appreciate and want to come back and watch.
Last tricky question.
Yeah.
I asked Gabriele his best five-player team in EuroLeague, and he put you on 4. This is only a disclaimer.
Good.
You have to do.
You
have to do a more tricky one.
Okay.
You have to choose your best 5-player in EuroLeague, but tier 2, not the Mike James, the Vasamicic, the Nikola Mirotic.
Underrated.
Yeah, like underrated top 5. Yeah.
Okay, it's top 5. Ooh. Okay, I'll put at the 2, Nick Weiler-Babb. I want to put a lot of guys on my team.
You can put anyone on your team.
Anyone on my team. At the 5, it's going to be a lot of guys I played a lot against then. The 5, Devin Booker.
Okay.
I'll say point guard, Martin Hermanson. I played with him, but don't play with him anymore.
Okay.
So I got 1, 2, and 5.
Yeah.
I need a 3 and a 4. I'm going to put. I'll shift Nick Weiler-Babb to the 3, and I'm going to put Austin Hollins at the 2.
Okay.
And a 4-man. God.
You have to play against him. Think about
exactly.
it.
I got guys that used to be in the EuroLeague. Can I put Nicola Melli?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I would think he's top tier as well, but.
Yeah, but no. Yeah.
Okay.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.